Hello. Hi. How are you? How do you do? Bonjour et comment ça va? Welcome to the podcast. I'm super pumped up to be here. This is episode 3. We technically had 2 episodes before this, but if you check out our YouTube, Esports Alberta, you will see that we have the 2 extra life episodes listed as 2.1 and 2.2. So check those out and catch up on some of the esports business that we've been covering on the podcast over on YouTube. But today, if you aren't familiar with me, I am the host of AESA Insight. I'm Ty Sirikun, and today I'm joined by 2 lovely gentlemen who are representing the Rivals of Alberta. What is it, like a provincial scene? Yeah, for the game Rivals of Aether, which also, if you're tuning in and don't know what that is, it's a game that's like Smash, but it's indie and it's on Steam and it's on PC and it's really rad.
Switch now?
On Switch now too. So yeah, Callie, why don't you let us know something about yourself, man? Who are you guys?
My name is Callie. I am the head TO for Lethbridge and co-head TO for the Rivals of Alberta scene. I've been running events for about 5 years now. Jeez.
Nice.
And just here to talk about Rivals today, I think.
Yeah, Callie is a dope tournament organizer. Always volunteering and helping out where he can.
Any event.
Oh yeah, Callie's the best.
Yeah, I got a story that he told me, but we'll get into it a little later. Sav, why don't you introduce yourself? Let the people know what you're all about.
Oh hey guys, I'm Savvy. I coordinate with Smash Logic to TO Rivals at the Assault events. And I'm a workshop guy as well. Animator, love making characters for the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was checking out your Twitter. I don't know if you update it too. Got a lot of good art on there.
Yeah, I post to Twitter at least a couple times a week. And I stream every day on Twitch, actually, doing some commissions, some animation, working on workshop characters, all that sort of stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I've been learning some pixel art here and there. You can catch it on my Twitter from time to time. I'm always trying to boost it out because I always get so proud about my little creations.
Oh yeah, pixel art is so much fun.
It's really relaxing because you don't have to have like the illustrative skill that gets built up over time. You can kind of, plot it out day by day.
Piece it together like a puzzle,
exactly.
kind of.
Yeah, it is like a puzzle, exactly.
Totally. I just got word from a mysterious stranger behind the scenes that you designed the AESA logo.
I did design the AESA logo.
I did not know that until literally just now.
Yeah, that was a fun project.
Yeah, that's a dope logo. Obviously, we use it for everything, and even the AESA little cursive is like the premise or the main base of this podcast logo. So
yeah,
shout out to you.
My handwriting right there.
Yeah, I put your work into Adobe Illustrator and messed around with it. So we have a special bond I didn't even know about.
Connected.
But yeah, getting back to this story Callie told me about. Oh my god, I think I just forgot what the story was. Maybe it'll come back to me.
Which one?
It was about you TOing something. So
like starting my TO starting stuff.
Oh, it was. I remember. It was someone was looking for the head TO from Lethbridge or something, and you just like stepped up and were like, "Well, I guess I'm the guy. That's just gonna be me."
When Brad was starting to recruit folks around for AESA stuff,
and Brad is one of the co-founders of AESA. Just so you know.
Yes, he went to the Lethbridge TO chat and he's like, "Who here is the head TO?" I'm like, "We don't have a head TO, Brad. We kind of work together. We're a unit." He's like, "If someone had to be it, who would be it?" And I'm like, "I am, Brad. I'm the head TO."
I like that.
And now
sometimes you gotta put the crown on yourself.
Exactly.
No, I've been working hard for a while. I'll take the crown.
Hey, 5 years, nothing to laugh at, man. That's like more than people's careers at a company. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've been TOing longer than I've kept any job per se, so it's the biggest job I've had so far.
Yeah. So for both of you guys, I guess I'll put this to you first, Callie. You've been doing this for so long. What about Rivals itself kind of attracted you to it? That made you want to kind of start a community and run weeklies and things like that.
Didn't per se start at the community. That would fall to Corvus. But what brought me to it was probably the movement as a whole, coming from Smash 4, which was a very slow game, and seeing Rivals being ran at our Lethbridge locals for however many years before I started helping run it. I was like, wow, this game has so much more expression of the player in it. Per se. Lots more options to go through. It was just more exciting overall, I would say.
And it is kind of fresh IP, fresh characters too, right?
Yeah, the game's only been out since 2017, out in beta before that.
Yes, I love the style of the game.
Newer generation of game with developers that actually put effort into making sure the competitive scene is good. It was like just a good breath of fresh air coming from Smash 4 for sure.
Yeah, we'll talk about the dev support a little later in the show. Sav, what kind of brought you to Rivals, and how come it stuck so much with you?
So I actually got into competitive Smash through Super Smash Flash 2.
Yo,
yeah, no kidding.
That's like computer time at school or at recess. You're trying to hit that up.
Exactly. So when that finally got online, I was really involved in that scene in version 0.9b. And then, so the game was like, it was fast. There's no wave dashing, but you could cancel your initial dash with a duck. So movement was insane. Combo was super free flowing. A lot of fun. Unfortunately, as the devs progressed and they went into the next versions, they took the game in a direction more inspired by Smash 4 and Ultimate, which wasn't my personal taste. But then I got into Rivals because that was, hey, there's this new platform fighter that is kind of diverging from Nintendo and exploring the space a bit more, doing things differently than Smash. So that's really exciting. And then I fell in love with Rivals when Shovel Knight came out. Because he is a perfect example of how nuts they go with their character design. Like every character in that game does something super wacky and crazy fun to use.
Yeah, Shovel Knight has weird mechanics, man. I love the Shovel Knight game, like the actual, indie game by Yacht Club, I think it is.
Yeah.
And so that was the first character I jumped on when I bought and launched Rivals of Aether. And I had no clue what I was supposed to be doing. Like you can buy armor, you can fish in that, like with that character.
He's playing Coin Smash.
Exactly.
It's like playing that game, but also you have to fight a guy like in Smash Bros. It's super strange. Yeah, so Sav, you kind of have a different relationship with the game too, in that you create custom characters for it through Steam Workshop, right?
I do, yeah.
And so how do you do that? Like what does it mean to create a character? Because I've played a bunch of games and no one is just allowed to make their own guy. You know what I mean? So is it just kind of come from a place of you alone have an idea for a character and you create some cool art and then it kind of gets the ball rolling? Or do you think of mechanics first? Like what's the process like for creating a character for this game?
For me, it really depends on the character. The one that I have out right now, his name is Husk. He was actually inspired by Super Smash Flash 2 Naruto, who's one of my favorite movesets of all time. So I said, I like this moveset. I want to push it to the Rivals extreme, and I want to be able to play it in Rivals. So he started as, I want to make Super Smash Flash 2 Naruto in Rivals. And then from that point, he's diverged to come to some pretty fun stuff. Like he's got some clones that he sets and then gets to release later for combos. It's been cool. But in terms of like approach to character design, it's possible to go either way. Like from, okay, you've got this idea for like the visual side of a character. And you're going for a gameplay experience and then design a moveset based around that. Or you come up with a cool moveset, which was my case for Husk, and then came up with a visual to match that. But overall, I think going like combining those two holistically to think of what the experience of the character is, both like what the gameplay fantasy is and the general aesthetic fantasy, I think
Right.
is a strong direction to go first.
I'm guessing that takes a long time to make a character and have it work properly and, look fluid and stuff like that. What do you think the timeline is on making one of these things?
So the original version of Husk was made in a week, actually. So that was just like roughing out animations, doing like 3 or 4 frames for everything.
Mhm.
Um, and then from that time, so I did that back in July, wanted to get a working version of the character. And since July, I've been on and off working on it, like refining it visually, and also because I'm not a coder by trade, learning some new stuff so that I can actually
Yeah.
make him work. Um,
Yeah, it seems like a
like it's
project that you
supposed
could
to.
kind of dump however much time you want into it, like a
Exactly.
never-ending time pit. Are the tools to make characters hard to use, or are they pretty accessible?
They are very accessible. So there's a guide provided by the developers themselves in terms of language and stuff. It's
Mhm.
not super friendly to people who like don't know anything about programming, but the fantastic thing is there's a community that is amazing at supporting people who are just getting
Yeah,
started.
that
Um,
is cool. I'm sure there's a ton of YouTube videos out there, to walk you along.
yeah, yeah, and actually at Salt Online, myself and a prolific workshop developer by the name of Raven, we did a panel together that you can see on the Esports Alberta YouTube channel.
Yeah,
We had
check
a
that
whole
out.
intro to making a workshop character.
Yeah, that one went pretty. It went a little more in depth than I thought it was. I thought it was gonna be like a little more, "Hey, look at what we can do," but it was really like in depth, and it
Here's
really
how you
does
do it and
set
what
you
you
on the
can do.
path. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
kind of my last question on the workshop stuff. Do you get to use these characters in competitive play at all, or is it kind of just for, messing around, not now, but like at house parties or something like that, where you're just kind of playing it in a little more casual way?
yeah, so the fantastic thing about Workshop is that you can do whatever you want with it. And
Mhm.
through the main community for it is the Extended Workshop. They have a Discord in which they curate the characters who are specifically made with the goal of meeting rough base cast balance.
Hmm.
Um, and then in Rivals of Alberta, we've actually been talking about refining our own character list and running some workshop events. We've done a couple online things in the past, and we're geared to start up that pretty soon again.
Nice. So do you guys have kind of like community nights where you're just using each other's characters and stuff?
Yeah, we've got a couple of Raven characters. Who's actually a creator from Alberta as well.
Mhm.
Um, got a couple of those on the list, and it's fun just to be able to. Hey, I've got this new build of a character. Do you want to test it
Yeah, who
out
wants
with
to
me?
jump on?
Yeah, exactly.
Wants to jump on and get, test on my broken move I gotta fix later or something.
Broken
um,
moves, you say?
yeah,
Like the
so
last Husk build.
Oh yeah, like when Callie comes in and says, "Hey, you should make up air jump cancelable on hit." Okay,
What could possibly go wrong?
that was a fun time.
so yeah, if you want to kind of get into that a little more, check out our YouTube video on AESA's YouTube channel, where Sav and Raven kind of talk a little bit more about that in depth. Also, Sav, why don't you plug your character? How do we download your characters, man? You just jump on Steam Workshop and
Yeah,
Get the
so
link, yeah.
jump on the Rivals of Aether Steam Workshop. His name is Husk, Husk, subtitled "The Vengeful Fallen" because I like my edgy boys. So
hype.
yeah, pop that in the search bar, and you'll be able to play. He's currently in alpha. Still got some things to change. I'm
Mhm.
aiming to release him sometime Q1 2021.
All right, so all y'all in chat, if you got Rivals of Aether on Steam, check that business out.
I
I'm
tried to
actually
share
gonna
the link
download
and got
that.
muted.
Oh.
Whoops. Here's the link. You can share it.
Oh, Smash Logic just got it.
Thank you, Brad.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out after because I was playing PCs or computers earlier, just kind of warming up, and that looks like a fun thing to just mess around with and not, be too competitive and hot blooded about. Um, So, Callie, why don't you tell us about the weeklies that you guys run?
Currently, we're running online weeklies. We just started those back up again.
Mhm.
But the weeklies as a whole only really existed in Lethbridge because we didn't really have a bunch of a scene in Calgary or Edmonton as of yet. We do
Mhm.
have a lot of new people that we could probably get to a point for when locals return. We could run weeklies in Calgary and Edmonton because we finally do have enough people who have joined. So that's super exciting.
Yeah, I'm pumped for
Overall,
that.
though, the main focus is the online weeklies, which happen every Sunday at 3 p.m. Join the Rivals Discord.
Yeah, I'm in there, and I was looking at that what top 8 graphic you put out, and I was like, I bet I can get on the bottom of that. Probably not, but every time I see one of those placement images, I'm like, if I just practiced, maybe. So maybe I'll
Gotta
throw my hat
practice.
in this Sunday.
Even if you don't make it on there, it's just for fun, of course.
Mhm.
That's the main thing. No elo to keep track of stuff.
Yeah,
Is there no like MMR
Not
kind of
currently with
system?
the online because I don't really want to make it a chore per se. Trying to just have
Yeah,
fun
I
with it.
guess.
We do have an Alberta ranking for like our regional events, and we do have like a Lethbridge ranking, but
Mhm.
it's very out of date now because locals haven't happened in a long time.
Yeah, since the world
In
exploded
the far
this
off
year.
time of early 2020.
Yeah, we were just talking before we got on the call that like, oh man, Christmas is like a week away or something.
9 days.
Animal Crossing came out this year before everything shut down. Like, what is going on? You know what I mean?
Can hardly
That's
remember.
been crazy.
So is the Rivals of Alberta Discord open to anyone who wants to join?
Anyone can join, no matter where they're from, even if they're not from Alberta. We welcome everyone with open arms to play games. Even if your connections would be rough, some people like Deep America would probably have a rougher connection, but they are welcome nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the benefit of everyone being online right now is that it's the best time to get into these things because you can do it right from your
Absolutely.
house. And as someone who has a pretty good computer, I really like playing Rivals just right at my computer and with an Xbox controller. Oh man.
Yeah, all the controller options, especially for PC. You can have some wacky controllers or some standard Xbox or Switch, or you can set up
Yeah.
Joy-Cons if you want.
Maybe I'll look into using this fight stick I got for Rivals.
It is compatible. I'll bring up mine.
just to mess around. I need to
and
get
gyro
the
controls, of course.
Gyro controls, or you can get a box like this.
Ooh. Hey, I see me in the reflection.
It is box compatible. I do recommend playing on box personally. It's way better on the hands.
Mm-hmm.
Than
I don't have
controller.
I don't have the muscle memory for the joystick still. Like I
it's-
get cramps when I'm playing different fighting games and stuff. I gotta like sit back and take a break. But I gotta train up those tendons. You know what I mean? Some of these guys have been at it for years with the fight stick.
Once the muscle memory starts kicking in, you're like, wow, this is so much better. Because on the GameCube controller, you're all just cramped, just clawing.
Yeah, I actually haven't used a GameCube controller since the GameCube, so
Lucky.
I'm kind of one of these noobs who doesn't have the GameCube experience. I always liked playing with the new controllers when the new Smash Brothers games came out. That's why.
And your hands work better because you haven't used a game.
Yeah, my hands aren't permanently like this.
GameCube, great concept as a controller. Ergonomically, oof.
Yeah, I love that
to
it's
be slightly bigger.
It's just for one game now. That controller is just for one video game.
Yeah, it serves no other purpose. It's terrible for anything that isn't a platform fighter.
So what is the? Sorry, I'm looking at this list of questions. If this seems like a non sequitur, but I was curious when I was playing the game. Like, does Rivals have a big global competitive scene, or even global just like audience base? Like, how big is this compared to an Ultimate?
It's not nearly the size of Ultimate, of course, but it does have a global scene. The biggest scenes would be in Europe and America as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
How many entries do they get at Genesis? They get in some of the bigger tournaments nowadays, and they've been growing in numbers. But they get like around like 300 entrants at like some super majors. And there is a
That's not bad.
yeah, it's pretty good for a
Yeah.
small indie game.
Totally.
And up until the day of Genesis 7, it actually had a bigger prize pool than Ultimate by $1,000,
Dude,
being the biggest prize pool there.
there's one thing that Smash is known for, and it's having just absolute trash prizes. Every tournament I look at it's because I look at games like League or Dota or even
don't
like
look at those. Don't
Counter-Strike, you know, and then I look at Smash, which has a huge audience base, made by Nintendo. There's a ton of entrants in tournaments, and it's like you get $1,000 if you get first place. You have to beat like 400 people to get it, though.
Oh, you won Evo Japan? Here's a gold Switch controller.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what is that? So I guess we can talk about Rivals' support for their competitive from the game dev. You guys were saying that is it kind of one guy who put this project together? Or is
Originally, yeah, but now it's a team of folks that are kind of built up over time. The main guy being Dan Fernacey. He's been developing it since the beginning, and the goal of it from the beginning was to be a slightly simpler Melee, because he really liked Melee, but wanted to be able to be good at it.
And not have to do this.
Yeah, so it was a more intuitive Melee was the original goal, and it was competitive from the start, with a lot of feedback from the community, and focusing on making sure it was very balanced overall, especially in comparison to other Smash games. There's only 14 characters, but all of them are solo viable, for example.
Yeah, and like kind of more handcrafted things like that.
All very unique and very fine-tuned.
As someone who's learning the game, let me tell you how unique they are. Holy smokes. If you play that game or get that game, definitely play the tutorials and go through the story mode and just get a sense of what's going on with those characters, because some of the recoveries and stuff, I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, I guess the main mechanics, some of it, which also complicates other parts. There are no ledges. Every character has a wall jump that refreshes their up B. Wave dashes are simplified to just not be a 3-frame or 7-frame input of hell. Overall, like, more accessible, but very complex from there. Yeah, there's no shields too. There's a parry system instead. So
you two should let the people know, since everyone knows what's up with Smash Bros. Lately. They seem to be in the news constantly. Is it fun being a part of a community with a game dev that like really enjoys supporting the competitive scene and patching properly, and a developer that cares about having balance in their game? You know what I'm not trying to throw shade at Smash, but
imagine if we had that in the Smash games. That'd be crazy.
it's famously, undersupported competitively. So what are the kind of differences? I don't know, maybe not explicit differences, but what are some of like the positives of having a dev that is really into, kind of creating that competitive culture?
It's really interesting to see the differences, to not name it precise ones per se, but even the little bit that an indie developer can provide, even just bigger prize pools or more interactive with the community as a whole. He'll show up and commentate his own game for like events, or
that's sick. That's actually really cool.
Watch off stream events just because he likes his own game and cares about it, which is very like a human element of it that we're kind of missing from the other Smash games, Melee in particular. But Ultimate, even with the little support we've gotten, it's still, there's no actual connection with the developers themselves, for sure.
Yeah, like even for a small scene like ours, through the events we've done with the Salt series and Smash Logic, we've actually had the Rivals devs send us some codes for character skins.
Really?
Additions to our prize pools. It's been really awesome.
That is so.
You just toss them a message on Twitter, and you're like, "Hey, I'm doing this. You want to?
Oh my god!
Help out?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure."
That seems like so far away from what Smash is like. I mean, obviously, it's not like you're just going to get in touch with Nintendo. It's like a monolithic company. But, man, it just goes to show that when you're indie and you really care, things can just be way better.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and in terms of the game itself, they've really demonstrated how much they care about every character, not only being viable in a broad sense, but actually being fun to play as and against.
Mhm.
Like Sylvanos is the famous example of a character who they've like almost completely reworked 3 or 4 times until they actually settled on a version that was fun for everyone involved. And that's the level of dedication that they have to making this a quality game, even after the definitive edition release. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and it's people like you guys and the rest of the communities that are revolve around Rivals around the world that kind of like inspire them to really work on the game, you know, and really care about it. But speaking of indie devs and platform fighters, what do you guys think about this new one that's in development, Fraymakers?
Fraymakers. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm super excited. There's
I
assists
know.
in a platform fighter. That's so cool.
Yeah, I know Nullix from AESA is super pumped about it.
I'm intrigued, to say the least. I don't know how successful it could be, or if it will even be a balanced game, because I don't know how you're going to make assists work. I'm just terrified of that.
How do they? I kind of peeked at the trailer beforehand, but is it like a tag fighter where you're just
yeah, like
have
you know,
like
have like tag fighter like DBZ, for example, where you can
yeah.
bring one of the other guys in, they do a move. There's like 4 of them right now or whatever that
Mhm.
you can just bring in mid combo and just activate an assist.
Yeah, they got
Yeah,
the
like-
Newgrounds tank in there. I thought that was
Yeah, the
sick.
Newgrounds tank. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's basically like a super meter, but your super meter calls an assist. So you're only ever playing as your main guy, but you select your assist for use a couple times during the match.
That sounds super appealing to me. It's like, oh, pardon me. I was saying I went for a run earlier today in the cold, and now my throat is like raw. But I think it's really interesting that they're trying to mix up the platform fighter genre a bit with these new mechanics, and it's not like you said. Rivals is based off of Melee, right? So it's going to be a little similar to that, just play style and whatnot. But no one has really kind of made one of these things and had it kind of fundamentally be different from Smash. So maybe this is like a breath of fresh air.
Any mixing up of the formula that can actually succeed, because there's been very few attempts of kind of capturing the Smash essence into another game. Many have tried.
Yeah, PlayStation. What is that one?
PlayStation All Stars.
Battle Royale.
What? Oh yeah, don't use those words. There was that one. I forgot the name of it. It's now. What was it? It wanted to be like PM. The PM devs made a game, and then it flopped.
Icons
and then
Combat Arena.
Yeah, Icons.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, so the PM devs said, "We can't make PM. Let's make our own game," and it sucked. Oh, it sucked so bad.
It was rough. Yep.
And then there's a new developer at the helm of that now.
Did the PM? Did they just take off?
Yeah, Rushdown Revolt is now what the project is under, and it's kind of weird. It has a spark system. It has air dashes now. It's like an anime fighter, but it's a platform fighter.
I was really excited when I got my hands on. Well, I guess not necessarily got my hands on it because I bought Rivals this year, but I was excited for the kind of culture and community around Smash as a whole to have an alternative, you know, and not to have to kind of come back to Nintendo and be like, please give us something. And also just have a fresh look to a game with new, different mechanics. And I think this Fraymakers game has some sort of weight behind it. Like they got other indie titles attached to it, like what is
Rivals
Captain?
of Aether.
Yep. Orcane your boys in there.
Yeah. I mean, that's sick that they're just willing to be like, yeah, take our character, even though you're competing with us, just take one. Is it developed by the same guys? Maybe I should.
No, it's by the Super Smash Flash 2 developers, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just wanted to double check so I didn't sound like a dummy there.
No.
But yeah, I saw Arcane was in there. They have Mr. Video from the 8-Bit Runner series. They got the Downwell guy, which is like the dopest mobile game.
I recall.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited for that game just because once people attach themselves to a project from other studios, I kind of assume there's going to be some quality and thought put behind it. You know what I mean? Especially if Rivals is kind of lending them a character. That must mean they have some sort of faith in the project.
He looks really good. For example, like the transition between that Framemakers and Rivals, you can see that parts of it are still there, but there's definitely its own take on it. Seeing even Orcane just grab a ledge is already weird enough. That's okay.
Like I don't got hands. What the?
And a character. He has throws now.
Yeah, he has throws. He has no grabs in Rivals.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about how crazy that is. I'm bad at these games, so I like to grab. And that was one thing in Rivals. I was like, I can't grab. He's gonna get me. I was stressing out so hard.
There's no grabs, but we can essentially call the cutscene combos grabs because you're stuck there for a long time. Sometimes you're doing things good.
Yeah, but then you just got to be good to do it. Grabbing is just easy damage in Smash. It's like panic mode. Okay, I caught him. I'm better than him in this little 5-second, sequence.
I have one neutral.
Like a grab is a moment where you're perfectly in control of the match, and that's part of what makes Rivals challenging. Is that there's no sit and shield, and there's no grab. So you're constantly bam, 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 all at this fast pace all the time.
Yeah, the parry system is dope.
We have an 8-minute timer, but most of the matches only last like 2 to 3 minutes. For each game, it's crazy. Everyone has a reflector for the projectiles. Everyone, technically, I would consider the parry a type of like you're in control situation. That would be its only equivalent. Because when you land it, your opponent's in a stun for about like a second.
It's pretty long. It's actually a really long stun.
Dependent on the move. So most moves have like the 1 second. Jabs will have a mini stun, so you're able to get away. And things like Edalus's icicles have a special stun. So they are stuck there for extra long, because if you had to not deal with icicles falling from the sky without that kind of mechanic, there would be a problem.
So I think that we are gonna wrap it up soon. Do you guys want to plug the weekly one more time and maybe plug your workshop character and let people know if they missed it earlier?
Yeah, Brad, if you could post the links to the chat.
I can do it too. I could do it too.
Thank you. I would love to plug it in, but yeah, anyone that wishes to join who has been on the fence or just didn't know about it, please do join our Discord. We would love to introduce more people to the game we've been playing for however many years for each of us now. It's super fun, and seeing new people playing it is super, super exciting overall. Maybe you'll even become workshop people, joining parts of the community as a whole in the different avenues that there are in it.
Yeah, there's so many ways to get involved. And if you want to learn the game, we've got a super active matchmaking channel. You just pop in there, ask for some games, find someone at your skill level, find someone way better, and just learn a bunch of stuff. Anything goes, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, one thing I learned meeting a lot of people from smaller fighting game communities is the smaller the game, I swear, the nicer the people. like you guys playing. I played with you, Callie, before, and you were super nice. I played with Zeke. Obviously, Zeke is a monster at every game that he picks up. So
Zeke is so smart at all the games.
But I've been playing this, and everyone's been super nice in the community. I've been playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Everyone's been super, super nice in that community. So yeah, if you guys want to play something that's like Smash but not Smash, and do it with a bunch of people who are really, really cool.
It's got better online too.
Oh yeah, it's got way better online. Check out those links and join the Discord. Download that game, man. It's pretty good. Even that story mode and the tetherball mode. Those two things alone.
Rivals of Tether is
so
important.
Much fun. Yeah. But yeah, I think that will wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for joining me and letting everyone know, what Rivals of Alberta is all about, and inviting everyone in to you guys' community. So thank you.
And thank you for having us. It was super fun.
Yeah, our pleasure, man. Thank you very much.
Shout out to Andrew behind the scenes. We see you. Thank